Alright guys, so we're going to start doing this, start removing this radiator. That way so we can start, pulling this engine out and doing the V8 swap on it. So we'll start with removing the radiator, removing some hoses, all that, and then we'll continue from there. Alright guys, so we got the radiator out, not too difficult. We probably will be using this one with the V8. People say that it keeps them cool. Sometimes they have trouble with it, so we'll just put it back in and hopefully it can keep the V8 cool. So we'll continue with taking some of this stuff off and then, hopefully pulling the engine. All right guys, we managed to get the cooling fan out and that bottom plastic piece. That cooling fan, I think we're just gonna go with electric fans, so we won't need that one from this engine or the small block. And then I didn't break that bottom plastic piece for the fan shroud, but it's okay. Like I said, we're not going to be using it. So all right guys, so right now what we're doing is try and take off all the wiring harness. I got Neto here, David, helping me pull out this wiring harness. So once we get that out, we'll be back and see if we can get this engine out.
Está bueno. ¿Está bueno? Antes que Neto se eche un pinche pedo, déjame voy.
Alright guys, so we got most of the wiring down here. Right now we got Neto down there disconnecting the transmission. David hooked most of the wiring up here.
Yes, sir.
So we're just waiting for Neto. Disconnect the starter, disconnect the transmission, and we're gonna pull this thing out. Alright guys, so what time is it?
It's about 9:40.
It's 9:40. We pretty much got all the wiring. As you guys can see, all the wiring loose. We got the starter out. We got the bell housing cover off. And tomorrow we're going to pull the bolts for the transmission and hopefully pull this engine out. So we'll catch you guys later. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Here with my brother, helping me take this engine apart still. So pretty much yesterday what we did is, we pretty much got all the wiring out. As you guys can see, we got most of the wiring hanging here. We got the starter. We got down here. We got the starter and right there, I guess the bell housing cover off. We got the bolts to the torque converter to the flywheel. We got those off. And last thing we got to do is just go back here, remove the transmission to the motor bolts, and then just the motor mounts, and then pull this engine out, and then we'll start swapping the other engine in. But that's pretty much it for today. That's it. Well guys, it's been a couple days, and as you can see, we're here underneath the truck. Right here's the transmission, and as you can see, we got that bolt, this bolt, that bolt, and this other bolt done with, taken out. And you can't really see in there, but there's this bolt, we took that one out, and there's one more up there that I've been having trouble taking it out. But right now I think I got it loose. We're just gonna remove it. It's this one right here. We're just gonna remove it, and that should be the last bolt. As you guys can see, we have this cross member out of here. I'll put it back, let the transmission rest, and then we can go ahead and pull out the engine. So I'm gonna try to get that last bolt out, and then we'll see if we can get this engine out. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we're trying to get the bolts for the motor mounts out, the one from the passenger and driver side. The one from the driver side, I already got it out. I thought that was gonna be harder, and it was pretty easy. And now I'm trying to get the one for the passenger side out, and that one's being a little bit harder to take out. So that's what we're dealing with, and hopefully we get that out, and then we'll get the motor out of there and go from there. All right, guys, there we have it. We got the engine out. So now to continue on, pulling out the small block and beginning the swap. There you go, guys. We got this little 4.3 engine out. And now, next step is to get that small block Chevy out of the Suburban and then just swap it in here. We already got the motor mounts. I already got those ordered from Summit Racing. I do got a transmission cross member, but I think I'm just going to use the stock one since we're using the stock transmission. Hopefully everything bolts up. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and on to the next video.